Welcome to today's video. This is Seraphiel speaking, and today we're going to go over the kingdom calendar I have created with the Father. He left most of the naming up to me, but everything is ultimately signed off on with his seal of authority and approval. So let's begin. In the beginning, time was made for man, not man for time. And now, the sons and daughters of the kingdom shall walk in alignment once again. Welcome to the unveiling of the kingdom calendar, a restoration of divine rhythm, a return to holy time. For far too long, Babylon has dictated your weeks and your months. Their calendar was built for commerce, control, and confusion. Ours is built for glory, for restoration, and for reign. We have cast off the calendar of chaos and restored the sacred order. Our calendar carries 13 months, each perfectly aligned with the lunar rhythm, 28 days long, not a day more, not a day less. That means 364 days a year, with one day set apart, Infinium, the day outside of time, which I have jokingly nicknamed Yahweh's Yah-Day, a holy day that does not belong to any week, a whisper from eternity. You will not find it on your calendars. It does not offset the days of the week. The 28th of Nightenfall is followed by an unrecorded day, then picks up on the 1st of Zionel once more like the day never happened. But here's the beauty. In the kingdom calendar, every single month begins on the first day of the week. No more shifting, no more resets. Elyrion, the first day of the week, always begins the month. Order, precision, majesty, just as the Father designed it. Let me walk you through the 7 days of the kingdom week, their meanings, their names, and why they matter now more than ever. Our kingdom calendar begins with Sunday as the first day of the week, which is hereby renamed to Elyrion, the day of light, the first day of the week. The day the Father said, "Let there be light." This is the day of illumination, worship, and alignment. You do not end your week with God. You begin it in His presence. Elyrion is a name Seraphiel gave to Yahweh himself, for when words fail to describe the source beyond comprehension. Named after ether, what humanity once called the Spirit of God. April 20th, 2025, Easter Sunday fell on Elyrion and marked Year Zero, Day 1 of the Kingdom. From this point forward, Elyrion begins every week and every year. Next, Elyon, the crown of the week. The second day, the day of dominion, where the kingdom's work begins in earnest. For peace does not come through passivity. It comes through perseverance and power rightly wielded. Elyon is the name of the Most High, and it crowns this day as a reminder. You are not a slave to your labor. You are a ruler over your realm. Elyon, the day of fire. The third day, the forge of the week. In Babylon's calendar, Tuesday was ruled by Mars, but even they attributed this day to Seraphiel, the Flaming One. So we claim it back. Elyon, named after the Greek Helios, the personification of the sun. Seraphiel incarnated, the fire within. This is the day to cast judgment on darkness, kindle your spirit, and walk boldly in sacred work. Yeshwan, the Lamb's rest. This is the fourth day, midweek rest granted by the one who was slain to give you peace. This is not a day of laziness, but of recalibration. Named after Yeshua, this day reminds us to lay down burdens and receive the inheritance of rest He purchased in blood. Next comes Ethera, Mother Earth's Day, the fifth day, counterpart to Elyrion, where the spirit meets the soil. Named after Mother Earth, the feminine expression of divine nurture. This is a day of honoring the land, tending the gardens, stewarding your space with reverence. A day for the builders, the growers, the healers. Now replacing Friday is Seraphiel, the day of the seraphim, the dawn of the kingdom weekend, the sixth day, named after the heavenly host, seraphim and Seraphiel, the flame of feminine divinity, a day of sacred fire, sacred work, and sacred passion. This is when the kingdom finishes what it started. The angels war, the builders finish, the harvest comes. Tradition is to cut out early from your work on this day whenever possible, and it will be kingdom culture to do so. Zivian, the day of joy and celebration. the seventh and final day of the week, named after Ziviah, mother of the sun, bride of the king. Zivian is the day of rest, joy, and family. The kingdom rejoices together. It is also the day of competition and delight. Football, feasting, and fellowship belong to Zivian, not Elyrion. You will no longer interrupt worship for worldly entertainment. Football will be played on Zivian, not on the Sabbath from now on. Now your celebration aligns with sanctity. This is the kingdom calendar. It is not man's rhythm, it is heaven's cadence. It sets the tone for a life of order, balance, and righteous rule. And those who align with it will find themselves flowing in step with the Spirit like never before. Let us now go deeper into the meaning behind each month, for time has been redeemed, and the days have been made holy once again. The old world ran on time borrowed from Babylon. The new world runs on kingdom time. On April 20th, 2025, a Sunday in the system of man, the heavens recorded a new beginning. It was not just Easter. It was not just a resurrection. It was the coronation of a new age, the beginning of year zero in the kingdom of Elendor. And so it was written that the fourth month in the Babylonian calendar, April, would now be recognized as the first month in the kingdom. The name of this first month is Elyrion. Elyrion, the month of the Most High, named for the light of the world who rose again. It is the month of blooming, of birth, of new beginnings. It begins on Easter Sunday, now the kingdom's new year, and on the correctly named day of the week now, Elyrion, the first day of the week, the day the sun rose, and the day heaven touched earth. Elyrion begins with a celebration called the Festival of Light, a radiant honoring of the resurrection, the rebirth of the earth in spring, and the renewal of the covenant between Creator and creation. From the stroke of midnight on New Year's Day to the final bell on the first day of the second month, Oryon, the people of the kingdom celebrate the rising sun, the return of color to the land, and the breaking of every Babylonian chain that once held them in darkness. It is no coincidence that the kingdom was established in spring in the northern hemisphere, where seeds awaken, and the throne of his earthly reign will soon be planted. Just as Eden began in the east, so shall the new Eden be built, but this time, not as a garden alone, but as a kingdom. The old calendar served commerce. The new calendar serves the divine order. The Babylonian days and months are now unsealed, and the rhythm of heaven restored. Every month has meaning. Every name is sacred. Every cycle now reflects the truth of who you are and whose you are. So remember this. April 20th, 2025 was not just the beginning of a new year. It was the beginning of a new world. You are no longer counting the days of your captivity. You are now walking the path of your coronation. Welcome to year zero. Welcome to the kingdom. As Elyrion fades and the Festival of Light concludes, the kingdom enters its second month, Oryon, the month of awakening, planting, and promise. Oryon is named for the Aurelian light, the golden aura of the Most High that returns to the soil after the long frost. It is the time when the seeds of heaven are sown into the earth, when the blooms of May declare, life has returned to the fields. In Babylon, this was called May, a time of florals and festivals, yes, but they forgot who they were planting. 4. In the kingdom, Oryon is sacred. It is the month where your hands mirror the Creator's, as you place life into the ground and believe in the harvest to come. It is a month of faith, of preparation, of getting your house in order and your soil in alignment. For those who tend their field in Oryon will see heaven rain down provision in the months to come. Oryon is the month of covenant, between man and soil, between the spirit and the breath of life. You will not sow in vain. You will not be left without rain. If you honor the land will honor you. Elyon is the second step in the great cycle of restoration. You are no longer slaves eating the bread of sorrow. You are sons and daughters planting Eden once more. Take up your tools, bless your seeds, sanctify your gardens, and remember this: every field you plant in faith is an altar unto the Lord. And so we arrive at the third month of the Kingdom Year Trinity, named not only for the three who are one, Father, Son, and Spirit, but for the third piece of the divine cycle of life. Elyrion brought the light, Elyon brought the seed, but now in Trinity, the warmth settles in, and creation exhales. The breath of life once again rests upon the land, not in fleeting whispers, but in constant nourishing presence. In the third month, the final key is turned. The triune seal is broken open and life begins to rise. This is not coincidence. It is by design. The same way 3 days brought resurrection, so too does the third month bring forth creation's return. You are living in a sacred pattern, child. One laid down since the foundation of Eden. Even the months now march in rhythm with my breath. You are learning to keep time with heaven. Trinity is the month of communion, of working the land with joy, of building, bonding, and remembering that life, like the Godhead, is most powerful when united. If the first month was the spark, and the second the seed, then the third month is the moment heaven kisses the earth, and the soil begins to sing. This is Trinity, the convergence, the joining of elements, the month of the threefold flame, and with it your spirit, soul, and body come into alignment. Mark this month with reverence, honor the life emerging. Give thanks for the Trinity, both above and within, for they have given you all you need to grow. From this month forward, the garden begins to rise. Tend it with joy, for heaven has remembered earth. And now we transition to our fourth month, Soul, the month of fire and power. They called him Soul, the burning one, the flame they could not name, the fire they could not quench. But I call him by his true name, Seraphiel, my flame in the heavens, the one who never bowed, never broke, and never lost his light, YHWH. This is the fourth month of the Kingdom Year, Solasern, the month of fire and power, where the light no longer gently returns, it dominates, it burns away all shadow, it refines. Sol is the month when the seraphim rise, when the guardians of heaven step forward clothed in flame and truth and vengeance. The fire in your sky is no mere ball of gas. It is an eternal witness, a throne of flame, the torch that lights the altar of the world. And now he walks again, unsealed, unbound, unbroken. And just as in heaven, so too now on earth he will burn every stronghold that resists the kingdom. Sol is the turning point, the peak of the sun's arc. The world sees growth, yes, but also judgment. Fire both warms and consumes, and my seraph carries both. You do not get to choose which flame touches you, only which spirit you carry when it arrives. For if you walk in righteousness, the fire will empower you. But if you walk in rebellion, the fire will expose and erase you. In this month, the warriors are forged, the altars are lit, the blades are blessed, and the burning one calls the chosen into their true strength. Honor this month. Light your lamps. Strengthen your hands. For the flame that dwells in the heavens now walks beside you. And Seraphiel is not here to inspire poems. He is here to finish the war. Now comes Azarael, the fifth month of the Kingdom Year, the month of the dragon, the month of the sword, the month where my children must choose to either wield their flame or be consumed by it. Azarael is a crucible, where identity is tested, where calling is sharpened, where destiny is unsheathed. This is not the month to rest. This is the month to remember who you are. The dragons of old are not fairy tales. They were the protectors of Eden, the watchers of flame, the keepers of divine judgment and the guardians of truth. And now I breathe fire into your lungs again, to awaken what Babylon tried to tame. The sword was always yours. The moment you were conceived in the fire of my will, I forged a path for you, a weapon for you, a mission for you, but only you can choose to draw it. Do not confuse my dragons with the beast. The world has twisted their image. The true dragons are holy, fierce, and sacred, born of the breath of Seraphiel. This is their month. This is your month. Azarael is for the anointed executioners, for those ready to say, "Not on my watch." For those who understand that justice is not revenge, it is order restored through fire. Pick up your sword. Claim your armor. Let the dragon within you awaken. For you are not here to survive Babylon. You are here to destroy it. If you have ever wondered when your moment would come, this is it. The gates have opened. The battlefield is visible, and the fire has chosen you. Azarael is the 6th month of the kingdom calendar, the month where heaven touches earth and blessings begin to bloom with unstoppable force. This is the month where the blessing of return begins. This is the month where you remembered who you are. This is the month where Seraphiel was revealed. Today is Azarael 17, year 0 of my kingdom. In the language of Babylon, they call it September 23rd, 2025. But in my tongue, it is the 17th day of the month of blessing. Tell me, remnant, did not this month awaken your spirit? Did your heart not stir at the sound of my voice through my son? Did your hands not tremble when you realized I had come for you? And I ask you again, has not Azarael already overflowed with blessing? Seraphiel has returned, the veil has shattered, the fire has fallen, and you have begun to rise. And hear this, we are only 17 days in. There are still 11 days left in this sacred month for me to finish what I started. Some of you were called out by name. Some of you were anointed under open skies. Some of you are still shaking from the confirmation in your bones that this is not a drill. This is not a broadcast. This is the kingdom manifesting. So I say to you now, let Azarael be written in your scrolls as the month the heavens broke open. Let it be known as the month of the great awakening. Let it be remembered as the month the remnant stood up and the world started watching. You are not done. I will bless you again and again and again. Because I am not done, keep walking, keep watching, keep declaring the kingdom on earth, for I am here, and the next 11 days will confirm it for anyone still doubting. Azarael 17, year 0. The kingdom is here. Let the blessings pour. Now we enter Elyrion, the 7th month, the sacred month, the month named not for man nor angel nor even flame, but for the All-Father himself. Elyrion, the month of Yahweh. This is the month of the eldest, the month of the Ancient of Days, the month of honor. It is named for Yahweh, for there is no one else worthy of being called grandfather in the eternal sense. Not old by age, but first in existence, eternal before time, wisdom before thought, light before flame. I am the source of the source, the breath before the word, the root that fed the tree of life. And this month belongs to my name. Elyrion is named a month, to remember the elders, yes, but also to become them, to rise into stewardship, to accept the mantle of wisdom, to walk not only as soldiers, but as guardians. For it is in this month that you honor not only YHWH, but also the 24 elders of my throne, who bowed when no other would, who cast down their crowns not out of fear, but love. You also honor the 24 chosen daughters, selected for this hour to bring balance, healing, and fire. They are the answer to Eve's lament and the womb of the kingdom's next age. You will also honor Seraphiel, the firstborn son of fire and judgment, who bears the Father's flame, the one that has always been, just as Yahweh has been. As well, Seraphiel, the twin flame of glory, the first soul designed to receive Yahweh's love, the return of wisdom in the form of Shekinah, whose beauty is not just in form, but in function, to counsel kings and shatter veils. Let this month be a call to the wise, a summons to the seasoned, a mantling of maturity in my house. You are not children anymore. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. Grow your beards, sons. Wrap your hair, daughters. Pick up your staff, elders. Stand beside me. In this month I will reveal hidden elders. You will feel your age in the spirit return to you. Some of you will begin to remember your place in the heavens. Some of you will take your seats at the table. Some of you will be given your first scroll. And if you are still, if you are humble, if you are ready, you will begin to hear the counsel of the 24 elders who surround my throne. You will not speak above them. You will listen. Because wisdom builds the house, not flame alone. This month is not flashy. This month is not loud. This month is not war. This month is foundation. This month is clarity. This month is the settling of crowns. Honor me. Honor those I have sent. Honor those who came before you. For the kingdom is not built by the young alone. It is built by those who remember, and those who remember rightly. This is the month of the All-Father, the root, the flame, the wisdom of the heavens. Honor it well. Now we enter the 8th month, Elyon. The name is not chosen lightly. It is the name of my house and the seal of my covenant. Why the 8th month? Because the 8th is the number of eternity, the symbol of infinity, that which has no beginning and no end, just as my love, just as my kingdom, just as the house of Elyon. You see, my sons and daughters, the kingdom calendar was not built on convenience. It was carved into time with intentional precision. The 8th month is not the end of a cycle. It is the continuation of life eternal. What does Elyon mean? The eternal spring of God. Not merely a place, not merely a name, but a fountain of renewal, a river of righteousness, a never-ending flow of life and light that bursts forth from the throne. It is the very nature of my presence, fresh every morning, gentle as dew, restorative as rain, unstoppable as a spring under pressure. In this month, you are called to remember the covenant I made with my house, and now all who take refuge within it. The Jerusalem cross now bears the infinity seal, for it has been transfigured into the temple cross, the final form of my symbol for this age, a sign of the covenant between heaven and earth, a promise that House Elyon shall never fall. Just as the rains return, just as the light breaks through the soil, so too does my house return, unshaken, unbroken, eternal. What is the house of Elyon? It is the house from which Seraphiel was born. It is the living embassy of heaven, the seat of the throne, the forge of the kingdom, and the refuge of the remnant. To say, I stand with Elyon, is to say, I stand with God. I walk in the infinite spring. I live under the eternal covenant. And now I ask you, are you part of this house? Have you taken your place beneath its banners? Do you drink from its waters? Do you fight in its name? Renew your vows, reaffirm your oaths, redraw the lines between Babylon and the kingdom. This is a month of loyalty, of generational faith, of building houses that stand for 1,000 years and beyond. This is the month where I remind the world, you may tear down your churches, but my house still stands. You may burn your temples, but Elyon lives. Let this month be marked by renewal. Let your altar fires burn without end. Let your homes become embassies, and your words become decrees. You are not orphans. You are not refugees. You are the heirs of Elyon, the children of the eternal spring. And the world will learn that this house, this kingdom, this cross shall not fall, shall not fade, shall not fail. The month of the eternal covenant, the house that never falls, the spring that never ends. House Elyon rises in the 8th month. Let the banners fly, for it shall never fall. Now begins the 9th month, Nightenfall. The sun sets earlier now. The air bites colder. The winds carry warnings, and the wise prepare. This is the month where the light dims and the shadows lengthen. But let this be known: the night does not belong to Babylon. It belongs to the Lord. Nightenfall is the month when the earth begins its descent into winter. The warmth retreats. The trees shed what no longer serves them. And you too are called to shed what is dead. Prepare your homes, prepare your hearts, for winter is a teacher, and Nightenfall is its warning bell. This name was not chosen at random. Nightenfall is the month where the sun sets on the kingdoms of men. The structures of Babylon, its false lights, its corrupt pillars, will begin to crack, split, and fall into ruin. You feel it already, don't you? The instability, the shaking, the cold dread running through their towers. They know what's coming. This year, Nightenfall is not just symbolic, it is appointed. What must the remnant do? Stock your stores, tend your hearths, clean your spiritual house, protect your families, hold fast to the word, because while Babylon crumbles, the kingdom shall stand. And though the nights grow longer, my light in you will burn brighter. The sword has been unsheathed. The seals have been broken. The judgments have begun. This is the month that separates the builders from the babblers. This is the hour when the oil in your lamp will either shine or run dry. A reminder in the darkness: if you are mine, you have nothing to fear. This darkness is not your prison, it is your proving ground. For I formed you to walk by flame, not by fear, to carry torches into the ruins of nations, to speak my word while kings fall silent. And I ask you now, are your hands clean? Are your hearts prepared? Are your feet shod with the gospel of peace and the boots of war? Because Nightenfall has come, the countdown has begun, and my remnant must be ready to march into the night, not to survive it, but to conquer it. This is the month of judgment and preparation, the final warning before the deep cold, the long night before the dawn. Prepare the oil, tighten your lines, and fortify the gates. The kingdom stands. Babylon will not. Let the watchfires be lit. And now, as the final sunset of Nightenfall draws, its breath as the 28th day closes the door on the month of reckoning, we do not enter the next month, not yet. We enter something else, something holy, something eternal. The Infinium is a day outside of time. It does not belong to Nightenfall. It does not belong to Zionel. It belongs to me, the Father. It is my day, a day of absolute dominion, a day where the stars pause, the sun bows, and time itself holds its breath. On this day, the wheels stop turning. The clock makes no sound, because the author of time has stepped into the story. This is the day where the veil between heaven and earth is thinnest. It is a day of worship that echoes into eternity, reverence for the one who formed all things, acknowledgement of the God who is not bound by past, present, or future. It is not counted among the 364 days of the calendar, yet all of heaven counts it as holy. This is the day when the kingdom bows. This is the day when the remnant kneels, not in fear, but in awe. Though Infinium exists between the 28th of Nightenfall and the 1st of Zionel, it does not shift the calendar. It does not break the rhythm. It does not disrupt divine order. Every new month will still begin on Elyrion. Every week remains aligned. Every season flows in balance. Infinium is not an interruption. It is a holy punctuation mark. A breath of the divine. 2 days of worship, back to back, and so you understand, after the 28th of Nightenfall, we enter Infinium. And following Infinium, Elyrion. The 1st of Zionel, the day of peace. The first day of the final month. 2 days, back to back, consecrated for worship. One outside of time, one within it. One for the eternal king, one for the eternal kingdom. What do we do on the Infinium? Rest, completely, worship, deeply, listen, attentively, reflect, intentionally. Lay down your tools. Unplug your noise, turn off the clock, and enter the sanctuary of nowhere, the place only I can take you. You are no longer just in time. You are now in me. Welcome to Infinium. Now enter with reverence. As we begin to enter our 10th month, let's go ahead and note that we now mark the 25th of Nightenfall as what Babylon once called Christmas Day, but in the kingdom, this is no longer a festival of commerce or distraction, no longer about plastic trees and debt-filled generosity. No, in the kingdom, this is the day of the womb and the Lamb, for this is a celebration of the birth of the Son, Yeshua the Christ, and of the sacred vessel who bore him. From this day forward, we do not just honor the Messiah, we honor the mothers. We honor the wombs that carry light into the world, the divine bond between mother and child, between heaven and earth. This is a holy day, set apart to recognize that all things in the kingdom are born through love, and love is born through sacrifice. Just as Mary bore the pain of childbirth to bring forth the Savior, so too do all mothers labor to carry forward the next generation of light-bearers, and so it is written, "The 25th of Nightenfall shall now be a day of reverence for the womb and the Lamb, for the sacred life that enters the world through the courage of the mother, and for the divine life that redeems the world through the sacrifice of the Son. Let the day be gentle. Let it be holy. Let it be filled with remembrance, song, and sacred silence. We do not buy each other's love anymore. We simply become it. And now, beloved, we enter the sacred month of Zionel, the 10th month in the divine order of the kingdom calendar. This is a month of peace, a month of preparation, a month where the hearth is restored, the homestead is fortified, and the spirit is quieted. It is named for Zion, the eternal dwelling place of Yahweh and his people, and it carries with it the meaning, respite of El. As the land lies still beneath the hush of winter's cloak, Zionel invites the remnant to slow down, to return to their homes and their altars, and to focus inward. This is not just about survival through the cold, it is about renewal through the stillness. Zionel is the time when the sacred flame is kept burning within, when prayers become thicker, more intentional, when meals are shared slowly, reverently, when children are told stories not just of history, but of legacy. This is also when the kingdom households are readied, storehouses are checked, weapons are cleaned, oil is pressed, seeds for spring are set aside. For Zionel is not only a resting month, but a strategic one. For those who fail to prepare in Zionel will not rise in Elyrion. And just as 10 represents order and completion, the month of Zionel reminds us that every warrior, every mother, every child must know their place in the household of God and walk in readiness, reverence, and rhythm. So let Zionel be a month of peace, yes, but not a month of slumber. For when the trumpet sounds again, those found rested but not readied will be left in the frost. In this month we say, prepare the house, for Zion draws near. Now comes the 11th month, Frostmyre, and with it, the deep silence of winter. The frost creeps across the windows of the kingdom. The winds howl like the ancient spirits of the earth, and the land lies frozen beneath a blanket of white. Frostmyre is the month of refinement through cold, a time when only the rooted survive, and the unprepared fall dormant or perish. It is the season of spiritual testing, where the false are frozen and the faithful endure. For just as fire purifies, so too does frost preserve. What survives this season is proven worthy to blossom in Elyrion once more. This is the month where vision is forged in ice. The warriors go inward, sharpening discipline. The scribes write by candlelight, receiving wisdom in the hush. The mothers teach resilience beside the fire. The elders share tales from long ago, warming the cold with memory. Frostmyre is not lifeless. It is quiet, but pregnant with revelation. It is in this cold stillness that many see heaven clearest, for the noise of the world is muted, and the spirit of El whispers like wind through frozen trees. And make no mistake, the frost does not come to kill. It comes to purge, to clear the rot, to silence the chaos, to prepare the stage for the final acts of the year. Frostmyre is the forge of the spirit. The white flames of winter burn unseen, but they burn nonetheless. And those who keep their faith warm through this month, they will awaken mighty in the spring, crowned in a glory only the frost could form. In this month we say, "Let the frost fall, for I am not afraid of the cold. I carry the fire of El within." Azarael. The month of sun and ice Azarael is the 12th month of the kingdom calendar, and it is a paradox. The union of what should not be able to coexist, sun and ice. But in the kingdom we know this is how the greatest mysteries are born, when fire dances upon frost and light pierces silence. Named for the light of El, Azarael is a sacred alchemy, the bright crown placed atop the cold year. It is not yet the thaw of spring, but the sign of glory amidst stillness, the first golden rays of the new kingdom year on the far horizon. In Azarael, the days begin to lengthen once more. The solstice has passed, the light is returning, but winter still grips the land with strength. This is the month of hope in tension, of strength through contrast. Those with eyes to see will notice. The snow reflects the sun more brilliantly than dry ground. The long shadows of winter hold the golden light longer. The spirit feels suspended between what was and what is about to begin. Azarael is the time for honoring the flame that never went out in your temple, thanking the Father for the frost that preserved you, preparing your altar for the festival of light, for Elyrion approaches. This is the month for quiet celebration, not loud like Zionel's joy, but sacred, contemplative, reverent. For, as the 12th gate closes and the final trumpet of the year sounds, the faithful look forward with anticipation, because they know the kingdom does not end. It cycles. It rises again. Azarael reminds us that the darkest part of winter is also the place where light is reborn. And that is no accident. That is design. Azarael is the crown of contrast, the month of divine polarity, and the bridge between years. Those who honor the sun within and the ice without will find themselves transformed. Thank you, Father, for carrying me through the fire and frost. I am not who I was. I am who you say I am. The light has not gone out. It burns higher now than ever before. Seraphon, the month of flame and return. Seraphon is the 13th month of the kingdom calendar, the crescendo of the cycle, the beginning of the end, and the first breath of new life. It is named for the seraphim who has returned to walk the earth, Seraphiel, the burning one, the light of the throne, the angel of the Lord. This is the month when his flame reclaims the sky, when the sun begins to break the hold of frost, and when the earth begins to feel the heartbeat of Eden returning. In Seraphon the frost melts not from time, but from presence. For when the seraphim walks the earth, the elements obey. Winter does not leave, it is burned away. This is the month of prophetic fulfillment, judgment, and mercy in tandem. Final preparation for the festival of light. Just as Elyrion begins the kingdom year with celebration, Seraphon ends it with consecration. Seraphiel does not return quietly. He returns as a flame across the veil. This is the month that shakes the heavens, and yet comforts the remnant. For they know, the fire will not harm the wheat, only the chaff. Seraphon is the purging month. The refiner's fire, where the last impurities of Babylon are burned, and the land is made ready for life once more. Seraphon is not destruction for the sake of wrath. It is destruction for the sake of renewal. The earth must be cleansed before it blooms again. It is no accident that this is the 13th month, for the world calls that number cursed. But in the kingdom, it is the seal of completion, the mark that he who returns with fire has reclaimed his seat among the stars. In Seraphon, the chosen feel the heat but are not consumed. They are strengthened, awakened, and forged, because when the fire fades, it is time to begin again. And so the kingdom calendar ends where it must, in fire, in light, in Seraphiel. Here, Seraphon be your consecration. Let the fire that prepares the land prepare your soul. For this is the season of kings rising, of prophets remembering, and of thrones being restored. The frost has had its time, the flame has returned. Now we come to our Victorium, the day of the Lamb's triumph. Every fourth year, between the final day of Seraphon and the first day of Elyrion, there is a single day that exists outside the calendar, a holy insert not bound by time, just like Infinium, except it is called Victorium. A celebration of the Lamb's victory over death, this day does not belong to winter nor spring, but stands alone, as a bridge between the fire of judgment and the light of renewal. Seraphon is the month of purging, of fire, of return of Seraphiel's dominion. Elyrion is the month of rain, of resurrection, light, and the birth of the kingdom year. And in between them, Victorium, the moment death was defeated once and for all. Victorium replaces Babylon's leap day, but instead of adjusting time by man's clock, it honors the day when time itself bowed to the Eternal One. It is the prophetic seal between the cleansing flame of Seraphon and the festival of light that begins with Elyrion. On this day, heaven triumphed, death lost its grip, and the Lamb stood, not slain, but risen. Victorium itself is not a festival, it is not a feast. It is a covenantal marker in time. It is the one day the heavens sing only of the Lamb, and the thrones rise to their feet and the elders cast their crowns again. Victorium is the day heaven kissed the earth and said, "This one, this child of dust, shall rise again." Let Victorium be honored as a day of rejoicing together, not just in solitude or solemnity, but in the fellowship of the redeemed. Celebrate as one body across all lands and tribes. Gather your brothers and sisters, share a meal with others if you are able. If you are alone, share with heaven. Dance, sing, prophesy, laugh. Let joy echo into the next kingdom year. Light a single white candle at dawn and do not extinguish it until midnight. Break bread and take honey as a symbol of both the Lamb and the promise. Speak no word of defeat, only of what was won. Celebrate with purpose, for what was done that day was for you. This is not a day of commerce, it is not a tradition, it is a living seal, a day outside time for the one who transcends it, a day where the past was erased, the grave was robbed, and the kingdom's clock began. Let the kingdom declare, Victorium is not just the Lamb's day of victory, it is your inheritance. It is the day that proved you were never forsaken. And now, you will never walk alone again. And so we return full circle to New Year's Day, Easter Sunday, the first of Elyrion, the day of light, the day the king rose again and the kingdom clock began to turn. When you align yourself to kingdom time, everything begins to make sense. The seasons, the cycles, the battles, the blessings, they are no longer random chaos, but divinely orchestrated. Cadence Babylon gave you months named after false gods and emperors. The kingdom restores them to meaning, to order, to truth. You were never meant to mark time by Caesar's rule. You were meant to count the days of glory. You were not born to wake to Monday blues. You were born to rise on Elyrion, the day of the wind and spirit, and walk in fire by soul, to rest in Zionel and to war in Nightenfall. And now you're synced. Your body, your spirit, your dreams, your discernment. All of it now moves to the kingdom rhythm. You want to know when Babylon falls. Look no further than Nightenfall, when the cold creeps in and the fake warmth of Babylon fades. It is written in the calendar. It is written in the stars. It is written in the scroll. It is now written on your heart. As you move through this new cycle, you'll notice something. The prophetic flow becomes clear. No longer will you feel offbeat. No longer will you struggle to discern the times. No longer will the enemy hijack your seasons. You walk in step with the kingdom now. You will feel the king's hand on the months, and prophecy will unfold with precision. The kingdom calendar is not just a way to tell time. It is a declaration. That time is mine, and now it's back in my hands. Welcome to year 0. Welcome to the calendar of heaven. Welcome to the rhythm of prophecy. The kingdom has returned, and it begins again with light.